Tonight at 6, the latest on the air and water quality in Ohio and the EPA's response after the East Palestine train derailment.
I want the community to know that we hear you, we see you, and that we will get to the bottom of this.
And Ohio senators are pushing for a congressional investigation into the East Palestine disaster, how they are responding to the tragedy.
Michigan State students are protesting after the deaths of 3 students on Monday. The student response that is putting pressure on the government.
And a highly anticipated Disney movie has received a new tease. All these stories and more as your Thursday edition of TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Portage County, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Sydney Brown.
And I'm Alexa Blakley.
We begin tonight with updates on the train derailment. This morning, Senator Sherrod Brown and the EPA Representative Michael Regan visited East Palestine.
Our very own Alexandria Manthey was on site. What more can you tell us, Alex?
Hi guys, that's right. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Michael Regan and other officials visited East Palestine today after a train carrying toxic chemicals derailed earlier this month.
All families need to know that they are safe. All families deserve access to clean air and safe drinking water.
Michael Regan, administrator of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, visited East Palestine, Ohio to give an assessment of response efforts after a 5-car train derailment.
24/7 air monitoring to ensure the health and safety of all residents. As it relates to water, EPA is supporting Ohio and the local government in determining what impacts the spill has had on surface and groundwater, and ensuring that the derailment has not had an effect on drinking water supplies.
The EPA is working around the clock to provide testing results for air and water quality.
The water, we are not showing any evidence of any contaminants. The governor pushed that news out yesterday. The municipal water wells are safe to drink.
But until more test results come back,
The Ohio Department of Health has recommended that residents use bottled water.
both local and federal officials, including the EPA, made it clear that the residents of East Palestine and their health and wellness is their first priority.
You are not alone. I am here. I work for you. It's not the other way around. My office is open.
The cause of the train derailment still remains unknown.
Be here as often as it takes, and most importantly, I will be watching Norfolk Southern. Watching them and letting them know I'm watching them is important as anything I can do.
EPA has also issued a letter to Norfolk Southern outlining actions at the site and how the agency will hold the railroad accountable for cleanup and cost under EPA's circular authority.
State officials are working to get government relief to those who need it.
This morning, the governor did talk with President Biden. He has requested assistance from the CDC. He has requested assistance in terms of medical professionals on the ground to provide physical and mental behavioral health counseling services.
Regan and many others will be in the area for the foreseeable future, saying, quote, "We will be here until the job is done." Reporting live in the Franklin Hall studio, I'm Alexandria Manthey.
Thank you, Alex. We continue with East Palestine coverage. Water contamination concerns arose after the chemicals released from the train derailment killed more than 3,500 fish in Columbian County. But in Portage County, experts say that they are not concerned about the county's geographical location because we are upstream from the derailment. And in line with the minimal concerns, Streetsboro's Mayor, Kent, and Ravenna's water treatment plant and all expressed their note that the situation has a low level of concern.
To request help with the aftermath of the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, Governor DeWine expressed the need for medical experts to be sent to the scene immediately. Also, emergency response teams have been working to remove the chemicals from the Ohio River and surrounding areas. Drinking water is being limited and tested, and air purity in the East Palestine area is being monitored as well.
Ohio Senators J.D. Vance and Sherrod Brown are pushing for a congressional investigation into the February 3rd disaster. The bipartisan agreement would focus on the rail operator Norfolk southern of the federal government's safety standards in response to the incident. Brown and Vance, in addition to Pennsylvania senators and Representative Sykes, sent a letter to the chair of National Transportation and Safety Board to the APA on Wednesday, emphasizing rail safety concerns.
Another train carrying hazardous materials derailed today in Van Buren Township just outside of Detroit, Michigan. The cause of derailment is unclear, but at least 6 cars have been seen off the track. Police said that roads will be closed off in the area while the investigation continues. As of now, no hazardous chemicals have been released from the train, and the car containing them has been put upright and removed from the rest of the scene.
How's it going, Portage County? I'm Michael Neenan, and I'm here to tell you about the local forecast. Of course, getting things started. In Kent, it's 55 degrees. It does feel 53, though. Not a big drop-off, not a big deal. The dew point is at 47 degrees. The wind is traveling south at 8 miles per hour. The humidity is at 78%. And the visibility is 9 miles this time, not 10 miles, people. And moving on. Tonight, it's going to get as low as 31 degrees. There will be some thunderstorms, and it will still be pretty cloudy. The wind will be traveling southwest at 15 miles per hour, so not too big of a change. And the sun will set at 6 p.m., so hey, sun's already set. It's getting dark already. And at 8 p.m., it will be about 56 degrees, pretty cloudy at midnight. That's when we'll see the thunderstorms. It'll be 58. And in the morning, it'll be pretty cold again at 31 degrees, and it'll be pretty cloudy. But that's all I've got time for now. Be sure to tune in later for more weather updates. But for now, let's send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Michael. Now, coming back to Kent, tonight the Kent State University Press and Dr. Tamika Ellington are presenting her new book, Black Hair in a White World. The book is a study of the history and perceptions of black hair in America. The online event will include a discussion of the struggles and triumphs of having black hair, as well as its culture and history. The event runs from 5:30 to 6:30 tonight.
The Winter Writing Festival is coming back to Ravenna. This Saturday, Main Street Ravenna will host workshops and a writing contest for local students. The workshop will cover writing, poetry, graphic novels, mysteries, and children's books. In addition, a guest speaker, David Giffords, will be sharing his expertise, known for his acclaimed memoir, Finishing Eternity, A Father, a Son, a Coffin, and a Measure of Life. Festivities will go from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m., and tickets are $10.
The City of Stowe is presenting an enchanted afternoon Saturday at the Leona Ferris Lodge. At the event, children can decorate sweet treats, play games, do crafts, and even get pictures with beloved Disney princesses. 2 sessions of the event will be offered at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. RSVP is required to attend, and guests are encouraged to wear their favorite princess attire.
A home relief program is available to eligible Portage County residents to help pay their water bills. The Community Action Council of Portage County is putting this program of low-income water assistance to place of those households that are below 175% of federal poverty guidelines. People with a maximum income of $31,868 for an individual or roughly $43,000 for a 2-person household may qualify. Please call 234-703-4303 if you want to make an appointment with the CAC.
Due to its growing population, the village of Dalton, Ohio has been awarded a loan to improve its wastewater treatment plant. The $290,000 loan comes from the Ohio Water Development Authority, and the rest of the cost of the project is expected to be paid for through federal grants. Dalton is one of 6 Ohio communities to receive a loan as a part of the Ohio Water Development Authority's project to improve wastewater and drinking water infrastructure in the state.
Is taking a big step that might affect Twitter's future, when and why he is planning to make these changes.
And gunfire at a mall left 1 person dead last night, what the investigation has found out so far, and how El Paso has been affected.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
A report released earlier today from the Department of Labor shows last week's jobless claims hit a historic low number. It says 5-time applications for unemployment benefits fell to 194,000 last week, which is below economists' expectations. This drop may give the Federal Reserve more incentive to increase rates again to stabilize the economy and reduce inflation.
The cost of buying used cars is beginning to drop, but the same can't be said for new cars. According to the Consumer Price Index, the price of a used car fell almost 2% in January. This is partly because of an increase in supply of critical parts. The cost of new cars, on the other hand, rose 0.2% in January and has been continuously climbing for years. And with insurance premiums rising as well, experts are suggesting everyone do their research before purchasing a new vehicle.
Buffalo's Tesla workers are trying to unionize. The group of employees pushing for that effort filed a complaint with the National Labor Relations Board, alleging the company illegally fired union bid supporters days after the organizing efforts was announced. The complaint lists the names of 18 employees who were fired, quote, in retaliation for union activity and to discourage union activity. But Tesla is yet to respond in this dispute.
I think I need to stabilize the organization and just make sure it's in a financially healthy place and that the product roadmap is clearly laid out.
But the Tesla owner is also planning to step down as Twitter's CEO. Musk shared on a virtual World Government Summit that he is now looking for someone to, quote, stabilize the organization. The statement comes after Musk's fortune shrunk by $182 billion last year. The successor is expected to take the position by the end of the year.
Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube for the past 9 years, has announced that she is stepping down from her position. She said the decision was made so she could spend more time focusing on her family and herself. Wojcicki has always been an important part of YouTube's parent company, Google, as its two founders invented the search engine in Wojcicki's garage. In a blog post, Wojcicki said she was proud of all she accomplished, and it was, quote, exhilarating, meaningful, and all-consuming.
Moderna's COVID-19 vaccines will remain at no cost even after the government contract ends. Insured people will be able to get the vaccine at the doctor's office or local pharmacy, but those without insurance can still receive the vaccination at no cost by going through pharmaceutical companies' Patient Assistance Program. This is a chance from when January, and Moderna was considering charging $110 to $130 per vaccine dose.
Narcan, the opioid overdose treatment, could be sold over the counter. 2 FDA advisory committees met Wednesday and unanimously voted in favor of Narcan being made available as an over-the-counter nasal spray to make it more accessible. The final decision now rests with FDA Commissioner Dr. Robert Califf. Research shows that the spray is easier to administer than an injection, and easy access to it could save lives.
The trending hair brand Olaplex is being sued. A group of 30 women has come forward with claims that the Olaplex products are causing hair loss and breakage. They cite that the ingredients are known to cause allergic reactions, but Olaplex is firing back, saying that independent labs have proven these products to be safe. The company plans to fight the claims for more than $75,000 in damages.
Over 6 million children are currently at risk of losing their health care coverage. This is due to states now being able to reevaluate the eligibility of Medicaid recipients. During the pandemic, a COVID-19 relief provision was passed by Congress that prevented states from unenrolling recipients of Medicaid. But last year, lawmakers voted to end the provision, allowing states to now release recipients that they find to be ineligible.
Welcome back. It's time to see what the weather looks like around the state. So let's jump right in, going from west to east. As you can see, Lima is looking about 48 degrees, Dayton 60, Cincinnati is 58. On central Ohio, Columbus, it's 60 degrees, pretty brisk over there. But over here, it's 50 degrees, and Akron, Steubenville is 60, and Athens is 59 degrees, pretty much the same as it is over here in Kent. And let's zoom in a little bit to northeast Ohio. As you can see on the lake, it's pretty chilly up there. Sandusky getting the most of it at 37 degrees. Cleveland is 42. as is Ashtabula. Mansfield, closer to here, it's 54 degrees. Worcester, it's looking 42, a little chilly over there. And then Canton, Kent, Youngstown, all in that 56 range. But let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, it's going to be pretty cloudy. It'll be about 34 degrees and with a low of 20, so it will be very chilly as opposed to today. Over the weekend, you will see some sun, but sorry, it's fleeting. It's going to be mostly cloudy. It will be in roughly the 40s and the 50s. Looking at Monday, we'll see some morning showers. It'll be about 43 degrees with a low of 32. And Tuesday, not as much rain, but still cloudy, but it'll be around 50. As Wednesdays, we'll see some afternoon showers, and it'll be 49 degrees. And a week from today, it'll be cloudy again, 36 degrees. I don't know, not great news, but weather is weather. That's all I've got for today. Be sure to plan accordingly before you leave your home. I've been Michael Neenan. Stay safe, Portage County.
This economic catastrophe is entirely preventable. The solution is simple. Congress must vote to raise or suspend the debt limit, and it should do so without conditions. Let's not wait until the last minute. It is a basic responsibility of our nation's leaders to get this done.
The U.S. could default on debt between July and September if Congress doesn't act. According to the Congressional Budget Office report, during these summer months is when they expect the Treasury Department to exhaust its ability to borrow money through extraordinary measures. Congress could save the U.S. from a catastrophic default by raising the debt ceiling, but that would require the House Republicans to pass a bill for the president to sign.
A new report from the grand jury investigating the actions of former President Donald Trump after the 2020 election was released Thursday. Most of the report is blocked from the public, but it does reveal that the grand jury unanimously rejected Trump's theories of election fraud after hearing testimony from state employees, poll workers, and technical experts. No charges have been filed in the case yet, as that decision will be left up to a separate grand jury.
Last night, 2 men were taken into custody after gunfire in El Paso's Celio Vista Mall. 1 person is now dead and 3 people were left injured. The El Paso Police Department explains that there may be another subject that is still not caught. However, this shooting is adjacent to a Walmart where a shooting in 2019 killed 23 and left nearly 24 more injured.
Michigan State students gathered at the state's Capitol Wednesday to protest gun violence in the aftermath of Monday's mass shooting that left 3 students dead and 5 others injured. Hundreds were present at the protest, which included a discussion of student experiences, and a vigil was set up in the evening to remember the students who were lost. According to the Gun Violence Archive, this marks the 67th mass shooting so far this year.
Now going overseas to France, Paris strikes continue after French President Emmanuel Macron's pension reform. Now it's in its 5th round of protests. Workers and unions are clashing with the French government, and protesters are holding strong stance on not accepting the planned increase to the age to retire. These protests do not currently have an end in sight, with groups on strikes across the country.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg announced today that they would be sending, quote, tens of thousands of tents to Turkey in the aftermath of last week's massive earthquake. While in Turkey, Stoltenberg also spoke of Sweden and Finland's bids to join NATO, both of which have been opposed by Turkey. Turkey has become more resistant to Sweden's bid following Swedish protests that included the burning of the Quran, but the Prime Minister stated they may be willing to approve Finland.
We are peaceful people. We know what war is. We don't want war. And there is no way we are going to send our troops into Ukraine unless you commit aggression against Belarus from over there.
Belarus may be joining Russia-Ukraine war. The authoritarian leader Alexandria Lukashenko is an open supporter of Russia and is now expressing their loyalty to join Russia in the war if attacked. Lukashenko and Vladimir Putin are close allies, and in a recent press conference shared that Belarus is ready to provide territory again and wage in war.
A beloved animated franchise may be going live action, and we got a sneak peek for an upcoming Disney movie. What is going on in Hollywood?
The Cavaliers headed to Philadelphia for a top 4 Eastern Conference matchup. That highlight coming up next on TV2 News.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
County, I am Blake Goloja with your TV2 Sports Report. Kent State women's basketball traveled to Buffalo yesterday and won a hard-fought contest 72-69. The Flashes held Buffalo to just 3 points in the last 5 minutes in the impressive come-from-behind victory. Kent could not get their shots to fall from the perimeter, so they took the game inside, scoring an impressive 42 points in the paint. 4 players scored in double digits for the Flashes as Casey Santoro led the way, matching her season high with 16 points. Kent State is back in action at home on Saturday as they face Akron for a wagon wheel challenge. Tip-off is set for 2 p.m. And Cleveland Cavalier forward Kevin Love is nearing a buyout agreement that could make him a free agent as early as All-Star break. Love played 9 seasons with the Cavs and was a pivotal piece in bringing the 2016 championship back to the land. Cleveland found success without Love in the lineup, going 9-3 these past 12 games, and the addition of Danny Green solidified Love's spot out of the rotation. Potential landing spots include the Heat, Bucks, or Suns. Sticking with Cleveland, let's go to the Wells Fargo Center where the Cavs faced off against the 76ers. As the Cavs fell down as much as 28 in the first half, but we're going to pick it up in the third with Donovan Mitchell scoring with a nice, strong layup. Now, time running down in the third. Mitchell's going to show off his handles here. Watch this as he shows off his bag, putting him in the dust, gets that right-handed floater easily to go. Now we're going to go to the fourth quarter. Mitchell again, 2 minutes. Cavs down 9. They need something. Mitchell delivers. Bank it in the 3. 6-point game, 2 minutes left. Sixers knock down some free throws and the Cavs are down to the last breath. Who else but Donovan Mitchell's going to force that 3. Comes up just short. Try to get that rebound. Could not secure it. Sixers do, and they're going to secure that W also. 118-112. The Stars came out to play as Embiid had 29 points. Harden had a double-double, 17 points, 12 assists. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland combined for 60 points and 11 assists as the Cavaliers enter All-Star break at 38-23, good for 4th in the Eastern Conference. And that's pretty much all we have today. Thanks for listening. Let's take it back to the desk.
Disney's Little Mermaid villain, what is lurking in the deep in May's highly anticipated film?
Welcome back. The highly anticipated live-action Little Mermaid has released a new teaser trailer. Disney fans can now see more of Halle Bailey's Ariel and a glance at Melissa McCarthy as Ursula.
McCarthy's character can be seen at the very end of the teaser, peering over a dark octopus leg. Also in the under-the-sea tale, Jonah Hauer-King's character as Prince Eric is seen in the reimagined classic that will be in theaters out on May 26th. Straight from the Hollywood, the surprising choice by Steven Spielberg and the latest movies that are shifting to live action.
Reporter David Daniel has more on today's Hollywood Minute.
I just thought this was a great story.
Steven Spielberg kicked off 2 major film franchises, Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park, but he turned down a third, Harry Potter. Spielberg says he and wife Kate Capshaw were just starting a family when he got the offer, which would have meant spending months filming in London, so he declined.
There were dragons when I was a boy.
How to Train Your Dragon is going live action. Dean DeBlois, the filmmaker behind the original trilogy, is writing, directing, and producing the live-action version, due in theaters in March of 2025. All 3 animated dragon movies were nominated for the Best Animated Film Oscar.
One day you came back. The past came back too.
There may have been a time when Damien had your back.
No friends in the industry.
But that's not what he's doing now.
Jonathan Majors looks even more dangerous in the final trailer for Creed 3. He plays an ex-con with nothing to lose and a score to settle with Michael B. Jordan's Adonis Creed. Tessa Thompson also stars. Creed 3 opens in theaters March 3rd. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
How interesting is that Steven Spielberg turned down Harry Potter?
I had never even heard that before. Like, it makes sense that it was offered to him, but I can't believe he turned it down.
Exactly, just because it's been such a big franchise and continues to be, I feel like. So that's stunning, but I really want to talk about the new Little Mermaid movie.
I am so excited for this movie. I've been so excited since it was announced. I think it's going to be great. What do you think?
I think it's just, like, seeing just the teaser trailer just now, I am even more excited. The graphics are just stunning. And I think it's super interesting that so many films are moving to that live action, like, style.
Yeah.
With, like, How to Train Your Dragon, but I think it makes sense because we have the technology now.
And so many people love these stories that being able to see them in like a new reimagined way, I think is really fun.
I can't wait. Well, that's all the time we have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at KentWired.com and follow us on all of our social media at Kent Wired. I'm Alexa Blakley.
And I've been Sydney Brown. Have a great night, Portage County.